And today we're diving into something, well, truly unique, Chapter 81 from the BFG Handbook. It's a modern spiritual commentary, and this chapter is described as, get this, a Christian edition of the Tao Te Ching. Ancient Chinese text foundational to Taoism, all about living in harmony with the way. So what we've got here is this remarkable blend. Ancient wisdom, Christian teachings, all designed to give you a fresh perspective on living a purposeful life. Our mission today: extract those universal truths, wisdom, service, peace, things that resonate across time, across cultures, giving you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating here is how this chapter frames these timeless ideas. It presents them as an expression, of profound love. And the aim is to restore these fundamental truths that can guide us. We're going to explore 5 core principles from this chapter, see how they stack up against these, universal teachings.
Okay, let's do it. Let's unpack this first key idea from Chapter 81. Truthful words may not be beautiful. Beautiful words may not be truthful.
This one really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? It challenges us to look past the surface, the eloquence, the outward show. It suggests that how things look or sound can often mask, the true condition of the heart or the reality of a situation. You see echoes of this everywhere, really. In Christian scripture, Jesus often spoke against that kind of outward piety, the showiness without real inner righteousness. Remember the whitewashed tombs, beautiful outside, but
full of decay inside.
So it's about authenticity, seeking what's real, even if the truth isn't pretty or easy to hear.
That makes total sense. Powerful call for integrity. Okay, so how does that lead into the second principle? This one's interesting. The righteous do not have the need to argue. Those who have the need to argue are the unrighteous.
Yeah, this highlights a really stark contrast and approach and how people engage. See, when someone is genuinely grounded in what's right, their actions, their way of being, it speaks for itself. They don't feel that compulsion to constantly defend, justify, get into endless debates. But those who are consumed with arguing, often it stems from insecurity, right? Or a need to control the narrative, maybe masking some deeper imbalance. Think about Jesus before Pilate. His silence.
Powerful example.
Right. He didn't get drawn into an argument. His purpose wasn't winning a debate. It was fulfilling something much bigger. It's about, wisdom, knowing when to speak, and just as importantly, when silence is the right response.
That's really insightful, especially about conflict. Okay, moving to the third principle. This one hits the ego pretty directly. Those who think they know much are not wise. Those who think they are wise do not know much.
Oh, yeah. This is a classic universal warning against intellectual pride, isn't it? True wisdom in so many traditions, it isn't just about piling up facts or being clever. It's more about recognizing the limits of your own understanding, staying open, acknowledging that maybe ultimate wisdom comes from somewhere beyond just...
Right. Humility.
Exactly, humility. That's why so many spiritual paths emphasize it as like a prerequisite for deeper insight. Paul, in the New Testament, he warned about it, said that sometimes real wisdom means being willing to look like a fool to the world because you're open to a different kind of knowing.
And humility can be hard to come by sometimes. Okay, number 4. This one really flips conventional ideas about, wealth and success. The wise master does not store up treasures on earth. The more he serves, the more blessings he receives. The more he gives, the more abundant he becomes.
This completely turns that narrative of accumulation, of hoarding, on its head. It paints this picture of a wise master in Taoism, maybe someone aligned with the Tao, the flow. In a Christian sense, maybe someone embodying that selfless, Christ-like service. This master, they operate from generosity, not scarcity. The core idea is that real abundance isn't measured by what you keep, but by what you give away freely. And this resonates so deeply with teachings like, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Blessings, the abundance back, it might not be material stuff. It's often spiritual fulfillment, richer relationships, a deep sense of purpose.
That's a beautiful way to think about abundance. Okay, finally, the 5th principle. It feels like this one brings it all together. The way of heaven benefits all and does not harm. The way of the wise is to fulfill their duty without contending.
Yeah, it does. It sort of encapsulates this fundamental trust in a benevolent order, whether you call it heaven, the Tao, or God's will. And it describes how the wise person aligns with that. Just like nature, works for the good of the whole without all this striving and competing. The wise person fulfills their responsibilities quietly, diligently, without needing praise or getting into conflict. It's a call to serve the greater good. Do your part with integrity, with humility, trusting that your actions ripple out and contribute to harmony. It's about flowing with the way, not fighting it.
Okay, so we've explored these 5 really deep principles. Now, the big question, what does this mean for you, the listener? How do you apply this day to day? The BFG Handbook talks about a method for renewal. It calls it the Trinitarian MAP, where God's love shapes your mindset, trust in the Son directs your aim, and faith in the Holy Spirit guides your practice. This is the how-to.
Let's dig into each of these, see how these principles can really transform your mindset, aim, and practice. Absolutely. Let's start right back at the beginning. Principle 1. Truthful words may not be beautiful. Beautiful words may not be truthful.
Right. So how does that shape our mindset, aim, and practice?
Okay, for your mindset, it's about cultivating this deep commitment to integrity. You start valuing authenticity over just appearances. In a world, let's face it, where truth gets twisted easily, this mindset says, no, I'm prioritizing honest communication.
Okay.
Then your aim. You become seeking truth even when it's uncomfortable, stripping away the superficial, getting to what's real. It's an active striving for authenticity.
Got it.
And then practice. How does it look? It means actually choosing truth over convenience day in, day out, even when it's tough. Speaking honestly in relationships, at work, online, avoiding flattery, not sugarcoating things. You know, that idea of let your yes be yes. That practice builds genuine trust.
That clarity is so important. Okay, what about principle 2? The righteous do not have the need to argue. Those who have the need to argue are the unrighteous. How do we live that one out?
This one fosters a mindset of, I'd say, peace and humility instead of needing to win every single discussion.
Right, that constant battle.
Exactly. You shift your focus to understanding others, promoting harmony. Your aim then becomes actively avoiding unnecessary conflict, cultivating peace wherever you are. It's about striving for dialogue, not just discord.
And the practice.
In practice, it looks like restraint. When disagreements pop up, instead of jumping in to escalate, you consciously choose to listen more. Focus on finding common ground. Use language that builds bridges, not walls. Remember that wisdom. A soft answer turns away wrath. It's so needed today.
Definitely challenging, but really powerful. Okay, principle 3. Those who think they know much are not wise. Those who think they are wise do not know much.
This one encourages a mindset of, openness, teachability, recognizing that true wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's this knowing you don't. So your aim shifts to embracing humility in your learning journey, avoiding that intellectual arrogance. You actively want to be a lifelong learner. And in practice, it means genuinely being open to new perspectives, even ones that challenge you. Seeking wisdom from others, approaching learning with curiosity, admitting when you don't know. It guards against that pride the proverb warns about. Pride goes before destruction. Wisdom flows from a humble heart.
A great reminder to stay curious. Okay, principle 4, about not storing treasures. The wise master does not store up treasures on earth. The more he serves, the more blessings he receives. The more he gives, the more abundant he becomes. How does that guide us?
This cultivates a mindset of generosity, selflessness. It actively moves you away from that purely materialistic focus on just getting more stuff. Your aim becomes prioritizing service, prioritizing giving, understanding that true fulfillment, that deep spiritual abundance, it comes from these selfless acts and the practice. It's about actively looking for opportunities to give, your time, your skills, your resources. Maybe it's volunteering, helping a neighbor, supporting a cause. Making kindness a regular habit, really living out that idea that it's more blessed to give than to receive, it fundamentally changes how you view wealth.
Yeah, it really shifts the focus from receiving to giving. Beautiful. Last one, principle 5. The way of heaven benefits all and does not harm. The way of the wise is to fulfill their duty without contending.
This fosters a mindset of peaceful duty fulfillment. Approaching your responsibilities with humility, seeing how your actions fit into the bigger picture, contributing to the good. Your aim becomes fulfilling your role in your family, job, community diligently, quietly, without needing the spotlight or competing for recognition.
And the practice.
In practice, it's about dedicating yourself to those responsibilities with excellence, but also with a spirit of service. Letting your actions speak, focusing on the collective well-being, not just personal gain, that idea of working heartily as for the Lord and not for men. It brings this quiet, deep contentment.
So this whole process of renewal, this MAP, it empowers us to respond, doesn't it? To live more purposefully, engage differently, and really embrace these truths that seem to cut across different lines. Which brings us to the universal nature of these principles.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really compelling. These aren't just, specific to one tradition. You see these core ideas echoed across major world religions, major philosophies. It shows how much common ground there really is. Let's take a look. Think about the universal truth of truthfulness and integrity. That first principle, truthful words may not be beautiful. Well, look across the board. Christianity, you shall not bear false witness. Islam, do not mix truth with falsehood. Hinduism points out that speaking truth leads to spiritual progress. Buddhism values right speech. Truthfulness is key.
It's everywhere.
It really is. The uniting factor is clear. Truth builds trust. It allows for real connection. It's seen as vital for both people and society, living in alignment with what's real.
Okay. And what about the universal truth of peace over conflict? From the righteous do not need to argue.
Again, the desire for peace, for harmony, it's central almost everywhere. Christianity, blessed are the peacemakers. Islam, if they incline to peace, then incline to it. Hinduism praises the one free from anger who does not quarrel. Buddhism warns against harsh speech because it just provokes the same back. This shared principle shows that true strength often lies in de-escalation, in understanding, not just winning arguments. It champions dialogue, respect foundations for any healthy community.
A powerful common thread indeed. How about the universal truth of humility and wisdom? From those who think they know much are not wise.
Humility is universally praised as essential for wisdom. Christianity, God opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble. Islam teaches that true honor comes from righteousness, from inner character. Hinduism calls humility the highest form of knowledge. Buddhism says the wise one is humble and free from ego. The common ground. Real wisdom isn't arrogance. It's recognizing limits, being open, acknowledging something bigger. It keeps us learning, avoids that trap of closed-mindedness.
Makes sense. And the universal truth of generosity and service. That idea of the more he gives, the more abundant he becomes.
This is fundamental across faiths. Christianity, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Islam uses that beautiful metaphor of a seed growing 7 years for those who give. Hinduism values giving without expecting return. Buddhism encourages giving even if you only have a little.
Wow.
This deep agreement shows that giving isn't just charity, it's a pathway to genuine spiritual and personal richness. It totally redefines wealth away from just accumulation.
Finally, the universal truth of fulfilling duty with integrity. The way of the wise is to fulfill their duty without contending.
This idea of doing your part, fulfilling responsibilities with integrity quietly, it's deeply ingrained everywhere. Christianity, whatever you do, work heartily. Islam commands rendering trusts properly. Hinduism talks about acting according to your dharma, your duty. Buddhism stresses intention, fulfill duties selflessly. The unifying message is, our actions count. Fulfilling duties faithfully without needing applause or getting into rivalries, it contributes to the well-being of everyone. Purposeful action for the whole.
You know, this deep dive into Chapter 81, it's really shown a light on how these principles, truth, peace, humility, generosity, they aren't just Christian ideas or Taoist ideas.
Yeah.
They're like these universal threads woven through our shared human spiritual fabric.
Exactly. These aren't just dusty old texts. They offer real timeless guidance for navigating life today, for living with purpose. And they can actually bridge gaps between different cultures, different traditions. It's practical wisdom that works.
And for you, these insights, they're really powerful tools. They can genuinely transform how you interact with people, how you navigate the complexities we all face, giving you a clear, actionable framework.
You know, as St. Thomas Aquinas said, truth cannot contradict truth. Finds from different places often point in the same direction. So maybe we can leave you with this thought. In what ways could embracing these universal truths help you foster more understanding, more unity, and ultimately more genuine fulfillment in your own life and in the communities you're part of?